I picked up 10 bags of rubbish today out of Loch, which is obviously an island castle. I wasn't out on the island, but around it. And there's a pandemic in this country because I done the road leading to Loch too. And in retrospect, we picked up 10 bags of rubbish, and we picked up a few bits and bobs. We found a toaster. I didn't take a picture of the toaster. If you followed me on Twitter, we found a, I don't know what would you call it, a child will use. If you look at my Twitter, you'll see a photo of it. And we found that. There's a few other things we didn't get picking, but we were instructed the council to lift it. But I'm just going to say, and it's something I come across regularly because over the last few months I picked over 3,000 gloves, which is a lot of gloves, rubber gloves. So I'm talking about the real rubber gloves. So that's just gloves alone. We picked up 3,000. Like there's a huge amount of gloves we're finding, especially in on the bypass and on, very busy roads. And obviously Lakuta would be a very busy road because obviously it goes out to the canoe and stuff and everything like that. And obviously, the other thing that's really big is face coverings, plastic, you'll find rubber masks. I have one here, I haven't opened it yet, but one of them, you find, you find them a lot. So many of them. I don't have the exact number how many we picked over the last few weeks and over the last few months, but it's a good lot because we came across a good lot today. On estimates, we probably picked up about 50 gloves and them 10 bags alone. 50 rubber gloves. Face masks I say about 24 because I'm trying to remember how many I picked up. But it was a good lot. Let's put it that way. It was a good lot because beforehand, before this pandemic, I never seen, you found a few rubber gloves, you found the odd few, but you never seen masks or anything like that. And now the whole place is covered in it because every day you go out now you find one or two somewhere. And and the other thing too, and it's, and I do blame McDonald's for this because McDonald's meals are just everywhere, like anywhere and everywhere. Because I can't tell you how much, like it could be nearly two bags of that 10 bag that had McDonald's stuff in it. Like if you filled it up, because the McDonald's meals are absolutely mad, especially the Drake cartons. There's so many of them just lying around the roads and walking away around the roads. And I do think McDonald's should be responsible. For a good bit of it because they have to try and see about try to do something different without them rubbery cups and everything. We have to try and find something different because it is a pandemic with them, and it always has been because McDonald's meals and KFC meals and everything. Funny enough, we only found one KFC meal if I remember correctly. There was only one KFC. The rest of it was McDonald's, and would you believe there's only one McDonald's in the whole continent? I think that's where it's all coming from. But imagine that. But I think McDonald's has to try and do something, try to find some kind of solution. Because, the amount of rubbish from McDonald's, it's very questionable how I haven't read in yet and handed them a fine. Because, I know it's not them, but you know what I mean. Because if you add it all up, there is a problem. There's a problem there and it needs to be sorted. Because, we had to find some other way of doing it, some other way of kind of giving takeaway meals or something like that. Because it's just mad, and I tell you straight, it's just mad. Like it's mad because every few meters you walk, you find some kind of McDonald's thing, and it's just mad, especially because this is a rural part of Ireland that I was in. Very a few houses, but not many. Just lakes, just full of lakes and back roads and back roads and back roads and back roads. Very little, no shops or anything like that around. So it's very surprising that there was that much rubbish. I obviously found a bit illegal dumping. And as I say, we had to leave a bit for the couch because there's a bit of rubbish that was not I couldn't get down to. And I might just say, sure, I went to a field. There was a few bags up into the field. Obviously took the stuff out and looked through the stuff just in case there was anything. And there wasn't anything because it was just rotten. I might just say, sure, the stuff was just rotten because they're there for so long. Like the place I couldn't get down to because it was a big slope and I couldn't find a way. I couldn't find a gate or anything like that to get through. So I couldn't do it. So obviously I would tell the council to do it because obviously they need a ladder to get down because I say a ladder would work, but it's just that it was on my own and anything could have happened. I could have fell and broke my head. I probably would have done better. I think it would have done better. I think it would have done the world a good. It might have helped me with speaking and doing different things. But all sarcasm beside on side, I would say to people just be mindful because you never know what's on these face masks. Not knowing if there is a COVID-19 or anything like that. You're breathing into the face mask. You're breathing into the face mask. You never know what person could have the disease, other diseases. But that's something you have to be aware of, and I would say to people, don't pick masks up or gloves without wearing gloves yourself. Because you never know what else is on it. As simple as that. And it's the same with tissues. The amount of tissues we found too, it was mad too. It's mad the amount of stuff. Them four things alone. It's a lot. Like the majority of the stuff was McDonald's meals. I might as well say straight. But anyway, take care everybody, and bye.